Hey guys, so I'm watching the Young Turks live right now. I have it muted right now at this moment, and I'm also watching this other live stream in San Bernardino. Um, so there was a mass shooting in San Bernardino, California today. Currently, they're saying it was three white males. They opened fire in the Inland Regional Center in San Bernardino, which is a center that helps disabled people. Which I don't even want to get into how you can fucking shoot a place like that up. And they killed 14 people and wounded 28 as of right now. And Friday, was it Friday? It's like so hard to even like keep the mass shootings fucking tracked. I think Friday, might have been Monday, might have been a little bit more recently than that. This guy fucking killed 3 people at a Planned Parenthood in Colorado. Right-wing fucking nut, right-wing fucking extremist, domestic terrorist, talking about no more fucking baby parts and this shit. And it's just like, when is enough enough? When is enough gonna be enough with domestic terrorism? Fucking Britain today approved airstrikes on Syria to fucking bomb ISIS. How many innocent people are gonna die in those airstrikes, right? Like, we put all this fucking time and energy into like fighting terrorism and the war on terror and Muslims and ISIS, and it's like, but white men in the United States can walk into anywhere and kill 14 people, shoot 5 people at a protest, kill 3 people at a Planned Parenthood, one of which was a fucking cop, okay? Go into a fucking movie theater and wound 70 people and kill 12 people. Go into an elementary school in Connecticut and fucking kill 26 and 7-year-old little kids. And no one says anything, and no one does anything, and no one calls it domestic terrorism, which is what it is. And no one talks about fucking white male rage. And no one talks about, people talk about terror and the war on terror and the war on terror. And like I'm watching the Young Turks, and Cirque just said, like, this is the real terror. Like I fucking said in my This Is Real Terrorism video, like, this is terror. Like, domestic terrorism, and especially, like, right-wing extremists, white supremacists, nationalists, these fucking, this anti-Planned Parenthood, these white men, they're coddled and they're given, they're arrested, Dylan Roof, like, I know I'm like all over the place right now, but it's the world is crazy, but the United States is like especially fucking heinous with this shit, and the way that the media coddles these people and they refuse to call it terrorism. And then you have the right wing like Fox that has this inflammatory rhetoric, baby parts and Planned Parenthood and black people and Hispanics, and they fucking whip these people up into a frenzy. And then you see these mass shootings, and everybody's so sad, but nobody wants to talk about what happened. Nobody wants to talk about the cause and effect. It's lone wolves, loners, lone shooters, lone gunmen, mentally ill, disturbed. It's never terrorism. It's never a pathology in white culture. It's never toxic fucking right-wing culture and extremism. It's never that. And all that is an offset of racism. I am gonna fucking go ahead and put that shit out there, because the bones of our country was built off of the blood of the Native Americans and the blood of the fucking slaves. The bones of our country was built off of the pathology of white men and manifest destiny, and this idea that I'm a white man, so whatever I fucking say goes. The same shit I said in my Chapel Hill fucking video 9 months ago, which was the very first video I ever made about fucking white male rage, These 3 Muslims moved in, had the audacity to move in next door to him, and he didn't like that, so they had to fucking go. This idea that white men are the masters of the universe and whatever they say goes, and if you do anything to block their entitlement as both white and male, to block that privilege, you gotta go, right? This idea that I'm right and what I'm feeling is what everybody should be feeling. I'm right, and I think Planned Parenthood is selling dead baby parts, so you gotta go. And he killed a cop. He killed a cop. People talking about, oh, the cops this, the cops that, Black Lives Matter is a terrorist group, the cops this and the cops that, but nobody wants to fucking call this white dude that fucking shot and killed a cop Friday, Monday, whatever day it is. You know, no one wants to call him a fucking terrorist, but they want to call Black Lives Matter a motherfucking terrorist group. Like, this shit is crazy. This shit is so crazy. This shit is so fucking out of control. And the mainstream media plays a huge part in whipping up, you know, whipping this toxic environment, whipping people up into a frenzy, and then pushing this narrative of, you know, violence is this, crime is that, terrorism is this. But when it comes to white people, and especially white men, we have to protect them, we have to coddle them, we have to look into their past, we have to see what made them this way, and no one else is even given that. And again, that shit boils down to racism. And even, sorry guys, I know my shirt is like a hot mess right now. And even like, I have seen some mainstream media pieces that are like starting to dive into it, which I will link in the description box. But even those pieces, even a lot of those pieces don't want to fucking discuss the racism and the pathology, the white male pathology that our country is even built on. People don't even want to discuss that. People don't even want to discuss the racism and sexism that leads to this fucking white male pathology and this rage and this entitlement. People still are not even going to talk about that. Like, this shit is just so crazy, and it's just like people want to talk about guns, and of course, gun control is a huge issue. Mental illness is a huge issue, but race and racism and white male rage and white male entitlement and the fact that the vast, overwhelming majority of these fucking mass killers are white as of right now, these 3 shooters are being reported as white males. Like, we need to start having some real discussions about that shit. Like I said, I made a video about that shit 9 months ago, and here we are 9 months later getting ready to close out the year with more deadly mass shootings in this year than days in this fucking year. It's sick. It's twisted. It's disturbed. And yet you have fucking Britain talking about we need to fight the fucking terrorist threat of ISIS, so we're gonna put airstrikes on Syria. Like, no, fuck, airstrike white people. If you're gonna airstrike I'm more scared of fucking white people than I am a fucking Syrian refugee. Like, this shit is crazy. Like, the narrative is so warped and twisted, and I'm just so disturbed. I'm so disturbed, guys. I'm so disturbed right now. I really can't even think of anything else to say except how disturbed I am right now. So, that's it. Gonna be another one tomorrow, and the day after that, and the day after that, and the day after that. Nobody gonna say anything. Nobody's gonna say anything. Nobody's gonna say anything. It's sick. I'm done.